And we're back. Lucky number 7, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. We are going to just hop right into it. Streamer, make sure I select the right game. And we ended last time, I think we were just had finished sorting out our pals from the pal box. Let's see here once we get in. Let's run back to our base and see where we were at. I believe we had just sold everything off, so nothing really there. Pal box is empty. That's right. Okay. Let's drop off. We are good there. Make sure we have enough food. We were right close to 25, which would get us our second, or our level 10 in the base, which means our second base. Why don't we switch over to the game screen there? There we go. That's better. And may as well rescue this pal that's up here having fun in a cage. Or actually, if we look, we'll look at them before we rescue them. They are not having fun in the cage. But we're going to start with going into the tower. That should get us enough experience to get up to 25. That is everybody. Yep. So if we look at the expression, doesn't look at all happy to be in there. We release them. Kind of missed it. Hey, there we go, level 25. We're still doing the tower first. It's actually on a timer, so it will not take more than 10 minutes once we get in there. But before I make the mistake I've made almost every other time, oops, party. Let's make sure we got the right things equipped. Let's see, so that's power 30, cooldown of 2. Down to 10, 7, so we want that cooldown of 2 in here so that it can cycle between that, then Sandblast, and every once in a while toss out a... Let's leave the flare arrow in there. Let's put the... There we go. So basically that CT cooldown of 2 means it's going to be able to fire this Ignis Blast really fast for us. This is an electric type pal in this tower, so that's why we definitely want to keep the Sandblast in there. And let's see, I did this on a thing that's not too far off of this one. I do want that left in there. Or does he have? He has air cannon. I think we'll leave him like that. Pangullet is ice missile is 3 and 30, 10 and 50. So we got short powers there. Okay, I don't know that we'll be bringing him out. There we go. We definitely want to switch that. So this one, you know, cooldown of 2, cooldown of 2. That's when I'm riding these. I can swap back and forth between those two and throw out the tornado attack as needed. Same thing with the Dire Howl. I got the Fierce Fang at 2, and I got the Air Cannon at 2, so I can swap those back and forth, and he has an Earth Attack 2. So the plan's going to be the Fox Parks. I'm not going to actually attack the boss myself. I'm going to let the pals do the work. But going to start with the Fox Parks, because he can do the fire damage, which could set him on fire and do extra damage. Then we'll swap out to the cat if the Fox Parks takes too much damage, because he can swap back and forth between these. This one actually does a lot of damage. And he has the Earth Attack as well. Even though that, you know, that Sandblast can miss if the target's moving around. And then I think we'll finish off with the Dire Howl if need be. before we go in, make sure everybody's all fed up, ready to go. Oh, hold, right, I always forget that. In we go. I'm wondering if eventually there will be, you know, like actual voice acting in this, in the cutscenes. Remember, early access game, changes to come. It just seems like it begs for voice acting here other than just her sigh. And the fight begins. So basically, I'm going to just keep breaking line of sight. See, he had that laser thing, so he was going to do a big damage attack. That's why I pulled the Fox Parks back, so that he would not actually get hit by it as much. That's not a super damaging one. That one actually does a little bit of damage there. But the main one I'm looking for is that... Oh, that one that I put him back out just in time to get hit. That was nice of me. But you can see he's on fire, so he's going to take damage over time. Dude, stop chasing me. Fight the pal that's fighting you. I'm not doing you any damage. Or keep chasing me and let him keep doing damage to you. I suppose that works too. Okay, I literally fought him on another playthrough this morning. He did not... Okay, there. Oh, he was trying to get close enough to me to do that attack. Kind of keeping an eye on the Fox Parks. I don't want him to actually die. Oop, he got me. I'm not doing as good a job at pulling him in and out as I should be. And now my Fox Parks is literally not actually attacking him. Fox Parks takes too much more damage. We're going to pull him out here. We throw him back in the middle, he's going to be more likely to be able to find him. Keep an eye on my stamina. Oops. I really should have unlocked his Huggy Fire before we came in here, and then I could have really done some damage. Yeah, you see that sand attack, if the mob is moving, it's basically moved before... Oops, he's taking too much damage. I don't want to chance it. You go, kitty cat. Now, if he starts doing his flurry of flows here... There he's going. See, watch. Just eat away at that health there when he does that. The only downside to that is the animation time that it takes. And of course, if the mob moves, then he moves slowly towards the mob, but... Nope, I don't want you to get hit by that thing. I don't know why you went clear up there. Oh, you're stuck on the corner. Stop it. And we beat the boss. Just like that. Actually went smoother than this morning's did. And now we grab this thing. That way when we look over at the tower, or look at the map, we see, oh, it's blue. That means we beat it. Of course, we go to try and fast travel to it too, and it says, hey, defeated. Good. Now, back to the base. Let's see here. Level up. So we are now level 25, which is going to be our last weight. We go to the technology screen. We haven't been here in a while. Remember, that one helps with the artisan. That one helps with the kindling. This one helps with watering. Also a good one to get. If I can click it. That's a better PAL bed. So when they're sleeping at night, they recover their sanity faster. Which means, you know, if it's a concern, you're watching them from the PAL box to see when their sanity's up there. And then you go to sleep and go through the night. This one increases gathering, but you need those beautiful flowers, which can be hard to get, especially now. Because where you get those are in these sanctuaries. And they have fixed it was confirmed now that it was a bug where if you were on a flyer, you would not provoke any of the security. Now you will, so they're harder to get now. And with that said, let's see, Burly Body. I don't think we were keeping Burly Body, were we? It doesn't sound like, I don't think we were. Well, let's hide that so we can get to base level 10. No, Burly Body is not on the list, so we can sell her. So let's see, to get base level 10, we're already there. Now we can do 2 bases, which is going to come in very handy. Get those guys out of the way. Because what we're going to do is basically move our base. This was always just meant to be a starter base. I did kind of lay it out, so if you wanted to be here longer, you easy could. You know, we basically have this. The only thing we don't really have space for would be the production lines that come in later. Like these things. If we weren't self-limiting ourselves, we would move to this base that's up around here for the ore. But since we are limiting ourselves in level and where we go, we're going to set up at this spot that was down here where we had those ore nodes. I believe I showed it in a previous stream. And it's fairly easy. Let's check technology here. Did we have any of these we wanted to get? Grapple gun would come in handy, but I haven't really used it or found a need for it. Condenser could come in handy. That is basically the thing where you can condense pals into each other. So like this one up here, you see 4 empty stars. Takes 4 to get there, another 16 there, 32 there, 64 there, so a total of 116 pals to increase that. And that basically increases this partner skill and stats a little, and their skills down here too once you get to the top level. So like this one helps increase carry capacity. In this case, it's by 50 weight. I can't remember if it's 50 per level. So that once we get up there, we'd basically be at like 250, but it increases this trait. So like the dire howl can be ridden, move slightly faster than most. That is purely a mount skill. So when you condense these ones up, he'll move faster. There are mounts where their special thing is like the Van Worm gives you a better critical chance, basically, is how I read it. And that indicates, let's see here, that, you know, he's not going to move faster, but you'll be able to have a better chance at the criticals. So, like I said, we're going to move base, so we're just going to pick up everything we've placed down, dump them in the chests. Oops. And that is something to keep in mind when you're breaking stuff down. Break the foundation last, otherwise the stuff that was on top of the foundation will break as well and just drop as items in the world. And you will not pick them up until after, let's grab that last here, until after you come out of this disassembly mode. Whereas I can break stuff at a distance right now, and it goes automatically into my inventory. The stuff that didn't go is because it was sitting inside the feed box there. I'm basically going to dump everything in here. PAL box last. Oops, there was some stone in here apparently. Oh, broke too many in a row. Nope, not enough. What's weighing me down? Oh, all that wood is weighing me down. Drop. There we go. Okay. So I'm basically going to leave these 4 chests sitting here. Dumping everything into them, because then once we get the other base set up, we can grab fast travel, we don't have to worry about our weight as we're moving all the materials over. Since I dropped it, I have to actually tell it, pick this up. Oh, and there we go, too heavy again. Let's just drop all the wood for now. And I basically set up just this morning at that other base on another playthrough. So hopefully I can set us up nice and quickly on this one, and then we can get on with some other stuff too. Not that I don't like this. Oh, too heavy. Not that I don't like this spot. It has those rock nodes, which come in handy. The other spot does not have the rock nodes, but what it does have is the ore, so that we can do the iron, so that we can do the better PAL spheres. Like this one takes an ingot apiece. This one takes 2 ingots apiece. This one that we're almost up to takes 3 ingots apiece, plus cement, which while not trivial, not exactly difficult to get a bunch of it anyway. Cement is basically a PAL fluid and bone, and you get 10 cement per, so it's not, you know, difficult by any means. Now, if you watched me set up the base, you're probably saying, hey, don't forget you left something. I remember we left. We built this statue of power down here. So we don't want to forget that little bit of material. I mean, it's only 20 stone and some 10 palladium, but it's still there. Except now it's not, because I remembered it was there to grab. And it would have just dropped on the ground when we disassemble this base here. Now, that said, I could have left this base here and built our second base over there. There would have been nothing saying I couldn't have done that. Okay, let's sort. Let's get all these seeds into one spot. But I just want to set the base up over there because then you guys can see on this stream here how, okay, well, yeah, you can set up over here fairly easy from the beginning. It's not quite as easy. Basically, let's see, keep that. I just want to try and get these condensed so I can maybe break a chest or two. And get those materials back. Do that first. Okay, let's sort. That's 40 some. Good enough. And yes, nighttime's a-coming, but we got that hip lantern on, so we don't have to hold a torch, which is very nice. Okay, so that is basically all of that. Okay, so to build a PAL box is, I went right past it, so we need 183... 1, 8, 3, and, oops, wrong one, there we go. It is over here, so we'll go to the small settlement. If you were going by ground, you could get to, you know, got to be careful up in here because some of the, if you're very early level. But you can come up, you can come over, there's this bridge, there is an encampment here with a trapped PAL. So, I mean, you could either try and get around that, which is easy enough, or you'd have to fight your way through it, and they're level 5 syndicate, so it's like not day one necessarily. There are some higher level PALs over here, not super higher level, but still it's more dangerous to get to than this one. But we're going to set up right over here. So let's just fast travel to the settlement. And instead of flying over, we'll go over on the wolf. So that you guys can kind of see the path. I mean, it's nighttime going to be more difficult, but... From there, we go up the stairs. Pixie. And around. Basically want to keep working our way up stairs here. Just keep working our way up, 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 up. Daydreams. If it was a Tombat, I might have grabbed it. Because it has level 2 mining. Which means it could mine the things, but we have the Dumuds, which I think are the level 2 mining, so they can mine for us too. This is the bridge that was on the map. So where we're going is right over there. We can kind of... Oop, I did not really see climb up that. Is right over there. So you could... I mean, it might take some doing to climb up there. But we could have gone down to the river level and up and over. We're high enough level at this point that we're just rescue the PAL. Looks like a fuddler if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it is. And that's the thing about fighting around the trees is sometimes that air cannon will hit the tree. Free wood. We're stuck in the tent. You're shooting through your tent, dude. You're gonna get wet when it rains. Release the PAL. A pacifist fuddler. Well, that's useless for us. So since we defeated the pal, we can kind of come back up around this way. Basically, we're going up so that we can come back down. Come over this way. Following the path a bit. There's a tombat. Our spot is literally right down here. You know, there's the ore. There's the little bit of platform we'll get some off of. I want to try and get this tombat. Because mining. 84% chance we might get him first time. Hey, there we go. Blood of the dragon. Neither good nor bad for what we want, but remember, we're on a mount. We can jump down. If we wanted smaller jumps, we could hop down there, then there, then there, but yeah. And down. And here's where we want to be. Okay, so placement of the PAL box is fairly simple back in here, actually. So if we come out to this edge, we can see as we look back, these two ore nodes are about equidistant from that little upper spot there. You look at it this way, we have ore node, ore node, ore node, basically three of them forming a line back up there. So we want to head back up this way, basically weaving between, so that you see these two trees here. Basically what we're going to do, come clear back here, say build the PAL box. I basically want to center between the two trees, trying to face that node that's clear back there. And then slowly work my way forward. And by the time we're far enough, should be a little bit further. Maybe, okay. A little bit further. So right here, it finally turned blue. It says, you can build now. All I was doing was just short tapping my way forward towards that node. We come over here, we can see this is where they'll drop. It shouldn't interfere with this node. It's not going to interfere with the trees. The reason it made us go so far forward is because it's tall, so it was hitting branches that said, hey, you can't build here. But by placing ourselves here, that forces us to be just far enough this way that these two nodes are fully within the circle, which means the mobs will, or the pals will, mine those. We come back over this way. Oh, I was running. I ran out of stamina. My bad. Give it a second. There we go. If we come back up this way, you can see it's not a huge area. We don't get the whole area up here, but we get quite a bit of it. It is enough that I am able to set up 15 PAL beds. Then above those PAL beds, I set up basically a base layer for me, where I put my bed basically in these workbenches that basically the pals aren't really going to help me at. And is where I'm going to put all of these things that they can get stuck on, but there's literally no interaction for. And the benefit is if we build foundations up here, which you'll see once we get stuff moving here, is once we get the foundation close enough to the edge here, 2 ramps down actually intersects with the ground down here. So there is a nice, easy, gentle path for the pals to get up top. Now, that said, there we go. Base. There we are. Now it's time to move stuff over. Let's clear out what we can. And basically, we're going to need to build 4 of these again. Going to be the same setup. Going to be slightly different on organizing over there. But the easy way to do it when you're moving bases, before we get everything moved over. So, okay, I want to build this. Nope, I don't want to build that. Now everything I need to build that is in my inventory. Or in this case, we are going to say... Let's see, do we have... Oh yeah, we should definitely have enough iron too. We are going to say it is late in the evening on a Sunday and I don't want to do math. So we need 60 iron and 120 wood. And I want actually a little extra wood, so 135 wood. Actually, let's do that. So 135. Oops, too far. And basically why I wanted that little bit of extra wood is so that I can use just a plain chest as a spacer here, so that I get them far enough away from here that I can walk through, and so can the pals. That's literally the only reason. Yep, there we go, and we needed 5 stone. And that is enough to build these 4 chests. Clear back over here at the new base. So we want wooden chest. Kind of in the center. Really? A raid? We literally have nothing here. Well, you got to see where the raids come from. So you can build defensive walls later here, along here, to keep them from coming down here. Boy, where are you guys going to come from? Clear up there? Okay. Are you coming? Hey, they realized they got to the base. Now this guy would be... We might very well try and capture this guy. No. Capture. You stop. I'm busy. Because if he has good passives... Musclehead, I mean, that's one of the passives we want. But he has handiwork of 2 and transporting of 2, and he can also mine. I mean, he can't mine the ore because he's only got mining of 1. But if we get a stone pit, he can work at that, and he can work at kindling too. But, let's see here. So, our musclehead... Down here, he was a male. So, Depresso's going to move over here. And this was an Incineram. And the main reason I wanted to catch him... Look at that, 590 there. What that means, can't quite get to Anubis because Anubis is 570, so we would not be able to breed anything with the Incineram to get down to the Anubis. Except for the fact that we have, with not necessarily the skills we want, but we have a Nightwing, which is at 420. So technically, we could breed down to Anubis once we get the breeding set up. But we want box 4 for that Incinerarium. It was up top here. The Depresso moves over there. So, good catch. We will definitely be using him later. Okay, so now I'm not all that bothered by the fact that we had a raid. Other than it interrupted us doing this. So, trying to center myself, and try and center it in there. No, you do not have to be this specific with how you place stuff. I am, because I want to be. So I want some space, so I'm basically trying to get the edge right at that sphere that's in the thing. And then back to here. Since we have enough to get 4, I'm not moving my mouse left or right. I'm just trying to get the spacing. So that tells us how much spacing we want between, which is not a lot. And I'm not exact on these ones. But there, we got our 4 spots set up. Look at that little thing, pick that back up. And let's grab our kitty cat. Okay, good. I threw him outside the box. This morning when I set up this base on another playthrough, I set him inside the box. He helped me build all the boxes, but he stayed stuck inside the box. And the upside to having that other base set up first before we come over here is we're going to be able to set up as much as we can, destroying as little of the trees, because I'm not going to set up a logging site. There's enough trees here within range that as long as we have a logging pal, he's going to keep us in wood and fiber, which is good, without having to do that logging site, which would mean we'd have to, where you'd only get wood and you'd have to use a water pal to get fiber. Like I said, the downside about this spot, there are no stone nodes, so we'll have to build a stone pit. And if we want palladium, use the pals to turn that stone to palladium, or just make sure we have enough pickaxe when we go run dungeons that we can mine the palladium that's in there. And actually, as far as the stone pit, I actually put it literally right behind here. It fits just perfect between these trees and between the chest and the wall. And it's out of the way. And now that we got the chests, we can come back over here. And basically, give me everything. May as well destroy that while I'm at it. Now, we don't want to destroy this one, but give me as much as you can. Do it all in one trip here. You can see there, I can still move, thankfully. Kind of hard to see there, but it's 7,000. Where's it? There we go. 7,600 out of just over 1,000 weight. So, really glad they made that change. Otherwise, I probably would have grabbed that grapple gun. But this is why I set these up here, because we can move slowly. I will grant, slowly. But we can still get over here fairly quickly. Okay, so this is our stone and palladium, wood and fiber. We get ore, coal, sulfur. It is used to create, leaving a space for a charcoal, ingots. And then, that's basically it for this one. Except what I'm going to put in here, because we have all this empty space up here. I mean, eventually we'd have refined ingots and palmetto ingots as well. But that's still a lot of space up here. Unlike the other one, I'm going to toss these things in here. The skill fruit. Sand tornado. See, now I could have taught that to one of my pals, But I kind of don't want to waste it because those aren't our final pals that we'll be using, really. Wheat seed we're going to toss in here because we'll have an extra wheat seed when we're done, so that can just hold out in case there's charcoal. We got that, and that, and that, and that. Oops, too many. Bring one back. There we go. Well, let's head back. I know I didn't get rid of everything, but I got rid of the heavy stuff. Now all that's left here is the PAL box. And boy, that PAL box was not that big for all that stuff that pops up and away. Whoopsie. Inventory's full. We can equip our axe. And nothing we can eat. Nothing we can drop. Nope, no chest over there. Yes, I really did just move my head too. That is literally just one palladium fragment. It can sit there. I should have dumped more off in the... Oh, I know what we can do. We can just dump all those berries in that slot. There we go. Everything off of the base. And then since we destroyed the base, since we're moving the base, we're not just building another base. You know, if I was just building another base, which we'll do later when we can get to that better ore spot, because that will have the coal that we need for the refined metal. But given our level restrictions, I'm saying, hey, we can't go there until we've cleared out all these 10 to 20 spots and the 15 to 20 spots. I think those are the level ranges. Yeah, we may as well grab the egg as we're flying by. I said grab the... Oh, inventory full. That's why it's not grabbing. Never mind. I knew that. I knew that. No need to tell me. I should have just gone to a fast travel point up here and fast travel to the base because we can do that. Oh, I wasn't thinking. Now I'm thinking. Fast travel point is clear over there. Let's just sit down and go on our wolf instead. He turns very white when he gets wet. I'll be very disappointed if they don't eventually use that model as like a snowy wolf. I mean, without the water dripping off of it, of course, but... No jump required right there, by the way. If you're running back and forth on here on your... Oop, chest. Oh, nope, no space. I'm still dripping wet. Why am I still dripping wet? The wolf dried off. Anyway, over to the base. Because now it is the base, because we don't have another base anymore. Okay, so... mob drops. With exception. Not going to do the wool. Not going to do the flame organ. And I'll explain that in a second here. So, mob drops, leather, bone, claw, that stuff. That's all mob drops. Pal souls. We got... I was about to say, oh, we got a lot of... We really don't have a whole lot of those. Okay, now, the wool... Oops. Actually, technically, and the honey. And the wool, flame organ, and honey. I left out because what we're going to do is, like I said, stairs are going to be there. We can fit the 2 wheat and 3 berry right here really easy. Right in here comes the mill and the crusher. Cooler will go about here. Got a nice smallish space here. Ranch is going to go here. But to keep the transport pals from going from here to clear over there, we're going to place just a regular chest here with these mob drops in it. But I don't want to do that yet. I want to get the stairs in place first so that everything else flows through. But I just wanted to say, hey, that's why that's going separate. Okay. And our spacers for when our pals get moving stuff. Oh, come on. Again, I don't know if that's the game or my mouse or me that sometimes double clicks and grabs too, but it happens quite often. Eventually, I hope they add a thing where you can say, hey, lock this slot. So that, you know, if you end up taking all the leather, that slot is locked and only leather can go in that slot. That would be very nice. Even if it's an upgraded version of the chest, that would be a very nice feature. Okay, this one is that, our crafted stuff and the components. So crafted components. Okay, medicine, that's crafted. One. Trying to do this is, oh, come on. There we go. Somewhat quickly. There we go. Last one is these things. And actually, we got life, attack. Oh, come on. Defense. And since we can only ever equip 2 of those, they take these slots. If we get any extra of these ones, we're going to basically sell them. I'm going to leave space because there is one more type of amulet, and that is for work speed. We haven't seen that on this playthrough yet. Ring of Earth Resistance can just come in here. I'm putting it down to the bottom so that we can leave all our schematics up top there. And that's going to be it going in here right now. That's all we got on this playthrough so far. And 1, 2, whoops. Put one back in. Okay, so there's all that. This stuff will just hold on us for now. Actually, I know that only has 10 spaces. Yeah, we'll just dump it in there. Okay, now we can build. So, how I set it up was, come up here. I like my stone foundations. Look over the edge. Basically trying to line it up so that the edge is kind of lined up with the... So I'm facing the PAL box. The edge is kind of straight and level with that. Come back. Now, I want to be back. I'm trying to move my mouse just forward so I can control the height. There we go. And I want that to be... You see the height to the left, kind of where my bow is at the moment? I kind of want that to be at that height. But I also want it to be fully back off. So if we go there, we are fully back off of the thing here. We're kind of lined up and straight. We don't need to be, but it kind of works better when you get over here. And that lets us, for 5. It still leaves us some space back here, and if I did the spacing right, it should be 1, 2, 3. It cuts a little bit, but I'm okay with that. Should we go this way? 1, 2. Up, I fell off the edge. 2, 3. Again, that cuts the edge, but I'm kind of okay with that. Actually, I'm trying to remember if I... Tell you what, we're going to cheat. I'm going to take you to the other base that I set up this morning on my other playthrough. Because I think I want to be a little bit further towards the edge so that I can fit those in the back a bit easier. Look at him explode. I got all the nodes mined. Stairs, nice and easy. Okay, I think I do want to come forward a little bit more. Now we're going to be a little bit higher so that these rocks aren't going to interfere. That's why I said we want to line it up so the top of it's kind of lined up here. That will still give us plenty of space to get the 2 ramps down. But we want to come back a little bit. But you can see we got our 15 PAL beds in here nice and spaced out. So that when we get to the big version, if we wanted to stay at this base, we could. Back onto the streamer one. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is let's space it out this way. Once I get control again. Okay. Because we actually want these a little bit further forward. We want to go basically, like I said, actually want to go 4 on that side, and I think 4 on that side. Ow. Stop crouching. You hit the buttons in the wrong order and it thinks you want to crouch, and I don't. Okay, so. Line up. Basically lining up on that PAL sphere there in the control panel. I'm lining up the edges at the top. Come up. I'm not sure we're far enough away. Come up. Make sure we're still centered. So we want to be up here. So if we count this as... See, we definitely don't want to be... I'll place it. We definitely don't want to be clear out there because that looks kind of stupid. But if we use that as our placement for that one, I think that brings us plenty far out. But can we go 3 over? 1. No, we cannot. It already stops. So we do want to come back in a little... Well, no, these aren't going to actually be here. Ha 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 ha. These are the ones we're building off of. We only had like 2 spots here for 1 bed extra. So 1, 2, 3. Can we do number 4? We can. And that, you see that little tansy? That's not mine. That's Wild Pal. That's why we will build a defensive wall. Because I had some dire howls come in while I was building my other base, and it's like, okay, I was able to handle them, but it's like, I don't want to bug you or be bugged by you. I am building a base. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2. Oh, 4. 4 back. Fortunately, we have plenty of stone built up. We'll be able to build this guy up nice and easy. Sorry, had to stop. I thought I heard a lucky there. Okay, now was this our... Did I go out the one more that I wanted to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did not. Back over here. And the going out one more is basically to fit the pal bed here and here. But as you can see, since I told it to build up higher than I did in the last one, we don't have the rocks in the way. I'm happy about that. Now, back over here. Tell you what, let's do this first. So, corner. Just to give it some structure. Back here is going to be all filled in, so that they don't try wandering. There will be 3 high. Let's hold off on that spot here. Nope, not deconstruct. Actually, yes, deconstruct. We did not have that wall on my other build here. Foundations. Basically, bridge, bridge, bridge. Do we want to go this far? Ooh, we might not want to do that one, because that looks kind of odd, to say the least there. We might just come out 2 here. 2 wide is going to be enough, because we're not going to get like the Jormuntide and have it in this base, so that's... Usually the 3 wide is because you have pals that are going to be in the way and are very big. Now basically, yes, I know this comes out and is technically out of the base here. I actually want that because what I'll do, or do we want that over here? Choices. Well, first things first. Let's build these walls up the rest of the way. I like to do solid wall, then window. You've seen this on the base that I tore down. I'm not going to tear this one down after. This fits in nice and easy, right where I want it to be. These walls that I'm about to build here, temporary. As you've seen in the last base, I left these open. Basically as a nice, big, huge, there we go, window. Out on the pals working down there. So once I get the roof in place, I basically just placed those wood ones here so I could easy build that, because I did have a little overhang just to make it look a little different. A little more enclosed. Come on, there we go. Let's see, so that one I'm going to want left out because we need 3, so we're going to have stair, stair, platform, and then stair down here, which means we'll have a 2 area here. And by stair, I don't mean the actual stairs, I mean these stone slanted roofs, just so you know. Oh, we might have to go over one more because that's going to be in the way. Okay. Foundations. Okie dokie. But, so foundation, you can build out 2. There's 1. There's 2. And what we're going to do down here because there's no foundation at the base of these two trees, they will, for some reason, grow through here. Very weird. So we are going to take a stone roof foundation because it is the easiest to make it disappear. Oh, not stone roof, stone foundation. Going to get towards the edge so you can see I'm clipping both trees. Let's see, I need to get a little bit further back. So if we get to there. Literally all we can see is the square outline so that we know there's a foundation there, but it's clipping both trees, so these trees will not regrow now. So I'm trying not to look at the roof area so that I don't accidentally damage the roof. But we get rid of these two trees. Oops, I think I hit the roof there at the end. Oh well, we're good. Now those trees will not regrow because that foundation is there, not actually doing anything for us. Nice gentle path up, nice and spacious path in. He's in the way. He's in the way. He's in the way. Because what we're actually going to do is come out just that little bit further here. Let's see, is that where I want it to be? No, it is not. I want to actually, as I go up the steps to go upstairs, I want the stairs to actually be outside the baseline. So that the pals will not, no matter what, try and path upstairs because there is nowhere for them to path to get up there. So if we do that, and this is where the platform is to turn. So stone wall, oops, trees are still in the way. We're going to get too heavy here with this tree. Oh, wow, we didn't. Surprise, surprise. Okay, there we go. We just got to make sure we're within the blue line when we're building. So that is a stone roof. And just to keep anything from getting back in there, wall and wall. To help the look a bit. There's that. There's that. Nope, not roof. Slanted. There we go. Now we can come up here. Oh, we're outside the base. Back down. There we go. Roof. Roof. Now we got something to place this off of. Do that. Do that. Now, pals will not be able to track up there because they'll come to here. Oh, it's the edge of the blue line. I can't go this way. I can easily go that way to go out of the base and back into the base. And since we have structure deterioration turned off, this will not decay over time. But let us quickly say we got space there, so we want to actually move this over here. We'll leave those two. Well, no, let's do that. See, we destroyed it. The wood fell, or the stone fell. Wood, gonna be stone. Okay, it is just past, well, not just past, it's about 5 minutes past our little break time. Yeah, that wood axe is almost. We're gonna get this built first before we go down there, so that we can get our repair bench. But it is time to get up and move. Supposedly good for you. It does help for me to get up and stretch. So we are going to just hit that move time scene. Wait for the timer to start. There we are. See you in just under 4 minutes, everybody. I'm back, but we'll wait that last 40 some seconds, just in case somebody actually got up and was counting on the full 5 minutes. And 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're fully back. Let's get back into the game and finish getting this base rebuilt. Again. Now, one thing about this location. One, you could build that PAL box. You noticed I didn't put it on a foundation like I like to do sometimes. So I don't have to worry about the foundation going away. But two, if you want to build out of stone so stuff don't burn down, because that Incineram raid Kai that came in, if we had wooden defensive walls up, or we had a fire pal here and fired fire plus wood equals damage. So bear that in mind. That's one reason I like to build out of stone. Then I don't have to worry about the fire damage. But up here, there's no stone. You could always fast travel back to the earlier areas and do that. It gets to be a pain. Okay, come up here. Oops, no, we want, there we go, roofs. So, because we took that wall clear out here, we're going to go like that. And basically facing sideways and doing it this way, because then all these stones are facing the same direction. When I do this. And it does add up quickly. We had almost 1,000 stone before we started. We're down under 600 already, and we're still just building stuff to build on. So, it does add up. You go through it faster than you think you will. Okay, now that we have that roof, by the way, 3 high, it's enough to not take damage when you fall. But now that we have that roof connecting to all of these, we can take out this wooden bit. Take out the top one first. Stop there and jump down and get rid of the wood we have in our inventory here. It's like some soon to get in dire howls fighting. There we go. Now we got our nice window. We can keep an eye on the nodes. Let's see. So how much did we end up with here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. So if we go 3, we want you and you. Yes, I know I'm building out of wood, but shouldn't be any fire damage taken up here. And we want wooden walls. There, there, and there. We are going to put our wooden door here. Above the door, a wall, a wall. Triangular portion so that we can do a roof. This is basically my house that I'm building up here. Oops, that is foundation. I want roof. There we go. And there we are. Roof. Roof, roof, roof. Roof, roof, roof. Anyway, Up here. Spin it. I don't know why it does the thinking this is the way the bed. You want to place the head of the bed against a wall. You don't want to place the feet at the wall. Unless that is a cultural thing I don't know about. That could easy be. But there's our bed so we can sleep the night away. Or if we're severely damaged and we need to heal, we can sleep the day away. But we're not, so let's get up out of it. Now, the way I like to do in here, which I didn't show on the other one, we got the primitive workbench. Line it up on the bottom there. Line it up in the center there. Come back. Just enough that it lets us build. I'm backwards, that's why it's being a pain. That's what I mean. Now, this is the way you'd expect everything to build, but the bed was the other way around? What? Anyway. And then looking out this window, we will do that one. And I like to not build this one until I get that one placed because I'm kind of standing inside this one, so I wouldn't be able to place it quite right. Let's build these two. And since we're here, let's fix that axe. And then the next two small ones are the Palgear workbench. And back, there we go. And the medieval medicine thingy-mabobber, which is about the only thing you'd want a pal to be able to get at. So actually, I think what we're going to do, we're going to set it up slightly different. We're going to move the bed too. No, out of bed. Out of bed. And to do that, let's do the Palgear workbench here. Let's do it here. I'll stop changing my mind eventually here. Oops, not quite squared up there. There we go, good enough. And the medieval medicine. That way, if we need to, we can build a way for a pal to get up here. But honestly, if we were going to need them up here, then we just basically put them in our party, probably. Or build a second one down there for them to do what we need them to do at. But the medicines take forever. I found it easier to just go buy them. Or hoard them. Or more preferably, keep your base pal sanity up so that they don't develop the conditions that you need the medicines for. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay, let's put our bed back down. We'll just go against that wall instead. Oops. Good enough. And then basically we have 1, 2, 3 spots for 3 longer workbenches. So let's do the high quality in the middle. Remember to flip it around since we just did the bed. And we got a weapon bench. And we got a sphere workbench. We might take out that syndicate thug since it's just sitting down there. And no, I don't know why I'm doing that the slow way when we can put him out and have him help. Help? Really? Dude? Get over here. Help build. And now you're stuck in the table. Okay. Now, other things we'll be putting up in here right now. Once we get enough iron to do it, because we didn't have enough yet, is the toolbox and the flame cauldron. But we don't have the iron to do it, or the ore ingots to do it, but we got the ore now. Dire Howls all ran away, apparently. He's just tired. He's leaning his head against the wall. Uh-huh. Okay, now we can come back down here. Okay, so stone pit. Kind of get up here and say, okay, kind of want to be equidistant between the trees. I don't know if it's going to interfere with the trees respawning. I haven't got that far building over here before. I'm trying not to move my mouse. Basically, set it right there. There's space between there. It comes back here. It kind of clips here, but there's enough space for it to work at. I don't know if you saw it when we were on my other playthrough, but the Tombat was up here because there was no ore to go after. Before the 1.5 patch, or the, 0.51, whatever it is. Before that last patch where they changed the priority of base pals, if you built a stone pit here like this, all the pals would try to work at this before they take out any nodes. Which means this would have to be 100% full of stone before they take out the ore nodes. Now it's the other way around. They will try and take out those ore nodes first. Very good change because you kind of want that stuff first. That takes time to respawn, whereas that stone pit sits there all the time. Okay, then what we're going to do, some more pal setup. Is I had put one here. I want the other one over here. Let's see, that sticks out about halfway. I know there's going to be some dead space back there. I'm kind of okay with that. How's that look? Good enough. This leaves us more space because, like I said, the upgraded version of these are like 4 tube wide. Or like, oops, I don't want to. Do not stand in these as you build them. You will get stuck in them. And then you got to respawn. And then it's a waste of time. Which, again, I'm wasting time because I don't have my little cat out helping me with this. Or, in all honesty, we had Mr. Where did he go? Mr. Incinerarium has a handiwork of 2. So, he will help even better than the cat. So if we go to the Cativa, and we throw it out here, 2 minutes, 7 seconds. Increasing handiwork by 1. 1 minute. Much faster. And then I join in and it goes even faster. But don't forget, I've increased my work speed as we've leveled up. Mainly for this kind of thing. So we'll just have him out while we finish this stuff up. Now, next spot was food, wheat. Now the pals will not get stuck on these things as they're trying to path past them. I don't want it to get too close to the edge there, so I think we're going to go one there. Just come over, leave just a little bit of a gap there. And then we'll switch to berry. Come back. I'm trying not to move my mouse left or right at all. We want one there. Come over here. We want one there. Number 3. Let's try and evenly space them in there. So there's our food for our jam-filled buns and our cakes once we get to that point. And there I go again. Help me build. It goes much quicker if you're helping. And see, he's not exactly looking sad. I think he wanted to join us, and that's why he came in the raid. Right? Right? Building. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure he wasn't going to go start trying to cut down trees or something. I want him working on building right now. But you can see in this space here, we have space for our crusher and mill, which will go next. And then we'll get our ranch put down. Okay. Next, production. So, mill first. And remember that little thing that's pointing basically at me right now is the front. We want the back that way. So let's build that there. Crusher, same way. We want the back towards the base so that the water pals can be back here as they're doing their thing. Heard something. Ambient sound, I think, is what I heard. Honestly, at this point, don't even remember what the music in the game sounds like. I need to remember to turn it on when I'm on my single player, my personal playthrough instead of the stream. Basically, don't want to worry about copyright, so I turned the music off. Which is what I'll probably do with any game. Just to be on the safe side. Okay, now we want stuff turned around back towards us. And cooler here because food ideally is going to be dropped straight into that cooler. Plus when we pull the wheat from here, or the flour from here, it's right here for the cooler. And then like I said, plenty of space for a ranch there. Beds are going to go in that lower area up there. We'll go do those after we get the ranch placed. Pal ranch. Now, the thing about the ranch is the mobs or the pals will try and wander around the back sometimes. That's kind of why I'm coming close here. Trying to space it so that it's equidistance between that little mound and the node, but won't interfere. Let's see where we are. So that's plenty of space here. Plenty of space around back, so they won't get caught there. Plenty of space there. And then this one, so that they're not going from here collecting the drops And going clear over to those chests, this is where we're going to build the storage. For the stuff here. So it's going to be the honey is going to be the primary. We'll flame organs because we can drop a certain pals in here to get those. It'd be nice if there were pals for every of the organ drops. Not the case yet. Because we might plop a Vixie in here yet. I don't know. We'll do that. So we need 4 seeds to fill out that one. One, two, three, 4. Let's just double check that it did not pull seeds when we built those. See, it took seeds from here when we built those berry farms. I knew I should have come over here and grabbed them. And yet it didn't. You would have thought it'd taken. Whatever. You would have thought it would have taken from the nearest one. But it didn't. So that's strange. That's not even the last one we placed. So I'm not sure why, unless it was the last one we filled with the seeds. I suppose that could be. Yes, I know, we haven't built that yet. You work on that while I work on this. We got 1. This is the only thing you got to watch out for, too, by the way, when you deploy a pal to help. So I deployed him from my team, so his sanity's not going to drop. But if I go outside the circle, he's going to stop and try and follow me because we're no longer at the base. We get back close enough. Oh, I'm going to go back to building. So you got to watch it if you're going around that corner up there to go do stuff up there, and you got one of your pals deployed to help around the base. But let's help him finish up the ranch here. And we're actually not that far from letting pals run around the base and do their thing. There's a few important things we need yet over there. The breeding pen is going to go over there. So again, right near where the pals will drop. That's actually what we're going to place next, so that since it's a big thing. Drop those seeds back in there. Okay, so breeding farm. There we go. So I don't want it there because we're very close to that rocky edge, and it's the same thing with that ranch. They might wander out, try and wander out and around. We have space here. So if we go, I want to kind of go here. Went blue there for a second. Come as close as we can. Move back. Okay, before we build. Yep, that's just as tight as on my other one. But there's space around behind. Plenty of space before the blue line there. They might get stuck on that, but I think we're going to be good here. Help me build. Still love the change where you don't have to, not touching the keyboard, not holding on to the F key to build. It'd be nice if you could tab out of the game and have that keep going, but I kind of understand why they don't, too. There we go. Okay, now... Sorry, had to adjust my headphone there. So, what we're missing yet... We've got all this production. We're not building the logging site because, well, trees. I'm not sure how many of these will regrow, but still, there's trees that will regrow. We need this yet. And I kind of stuck it right here before. I don't think I'm going to do that. Do I want to? See, it's kind of nice because our iron gets dropped right in this chest. Tell you what, because pals should not be getting in this chest, because this chest should only be able to contain cake for breeding. I've never had a pal put anything in that chest. And the way we're facing it, the pal is going to line up right along here, which might get annoying if they're cooking ingots and we're trying to grab pals from here to put into the breeding farm. But I think we're going to put it right here. There's plenty of space. It's close enough that we can drop stuff off. Yeah, right there. Only takes a few seconds here, so. And then one thing we're going to do, since we did not have any charcoal yet, we're going to make a charcoal just to put it in the slot in the chest. Just one. Now see, he does not take up much space. If you have that Jormuntite Ignis, he'd be stretching clear back to here while he was working away. And unfortunately, we don't have that flame thing built up yet upstairs, so it's not quite as fast as it's going to be. And he is still kindling one, just like our Fox Parks is. So there's that too. But now we can put that there. We can put that there. Wheat seed's basically a placeholder for where we're moving next. Okay, so that's built. Got that stuff upstairs. Got all that stuff. Pal. Egg incubator. Gotta have an egg incubator. I mean, it's not going to be useful until we start getting eggs, but we will. They're in the world. We can always pick them up as we're going. As long as we have space and weight. But it's handy to be right here because most of your eggs, once you get going and breeding, is going to come from right in there. So you can just come right over here. We don't have to worry about hot, cold, but notice the temperature bars down there towards the cold side, which is good for most eggs because then you can just, if it needs to be warmer, you can just place campfires around it to warm it up. And let's see, we don't need that. We don't need a viewing cage. Food box we need to do yet. And the beds upstairs we need to do yet. We can work our way towards these beds. Because these beds, they'll just recover their sanity faster, like I've mentioned before. And we can work towards this stuff too. Especially the planting and the gathering, because, yeah. Alright, first things first, food box. There we go. We don't have... We want it to be centrally located. So the main focus of this base, basically, is ore. So we want it to be down here. All they're doing up there is sleeping. All they're doing there is resting. They're working here. They're working here. So most of the work is on this side. So we're going to place it on this side of the PAL box. Yeah, I think we will just place it off the side of the PAL box here. So, we line up there. I don't actually want it right on the PAL box. Tell you what, let's go off of this thing. So if we go there, let's just drop it there. Plenty of space around. We can give them back the cooked berries. Oh, right, I can't split it in there apparently. I'll just keep 72 for myself. We'll put those in there. We have a cooler now. Let's put those berries in there. And down here is pretty much set, ready to go. But we have no beds yet, so let's go do those. I know it looks kind of weird here. But if we get a big guy, we want him to be able to come in here nice and easy. Basically, nice big hangar bay that's going to be basically just for beds. So how I line these up is right about there. Let's see, it flashed red for a second there. So we're on a line in between. Come back. We're on a line in between. Come back. Place a bed. Skip a spot. Place a bed. Because the spot where it goes red means I'm basically on the edge of a foundation. So if I come back in one, that's as close as it's going to be. And then we'll just follow this pattern as we keep moving forward. So the next bed's going to be right here. But we can only place so many beds at a time. And remember, I'm still playing this. You can change it, of course, but I'm still playing this world with the 15 PAL base limit. You can change it up to 20. You could make it less if you wanted to, too, to make it more challenging. To say, oh, well, you can't have all these creatures at your ore base. PALs, I mean. Okay. And probably the next thing we'll do after we get these beds in place before we get the PALs back out is the defensive walls, because now raids can happen. But less for the raids, more for the wandering PALs. Not that we have to worry about like a Mamorest wandering through. Close enough. Let's see, that's 6. 7. 8. I'm not being as specific on these ones because we're going to do the fluffier beds here shortly. Anyway, 9. Close enough. 10. We can only do 10 PALs at the moment, so we may as well only do 10 of the beds. But you can see 11, 12, 13, 14. And then, like on that other base, we'd build 2 more foundations here. In fact, I'm going to do that. And then a bed would go here. But I did this because coming out of our bed up there, we can drop down to this, not take damage. We can drop down from this to down there, not take damage. But if we went from up there to down there, we'd take damage. Not that it's a huge thing. You'll recover the damage, but why take the damage if you don't have to? And this is taking longer than I thought. I was hoping we'd get done and maybe go get some Liftmuck effigies from the new areas. But it is not looking like we're going to have time by the time we get the defensive walls done and the base PALs redeployed. So I guess it's just going to be another base episode. Or stream. Technically episode on YouTube, because I do upload all the VODs to YouTube. More just because eventually the VODs drop off of Twitch, and I want them to be available if somebody wants to go back and look at them, or if I want to go back and say, how did I do this? Where was this one at? I'm going to have reference too. And you know what? I know I'm not going to need them yet, but let's go ahead and just finish baking the beds. $11, $12. This one gets a bit more iffy. $13, $14. And one pal gets to sleep half on the night sky. 15. Okay, so there's all the beds we could ever use at this base. Of course, you got to bear in mind, breeding pen, if you have 2 pals in there, they're not going to come up here to sleep. They're going to stay in the pen. Especially if it's a nighttime type of pal. May as well have him helping me here. Oops, and we'll go a bit quicker. Okay, you go do that one. I'll finish and come help you then. There we go. There we go. So the only thing we have left now is these others. We haven't built any of those. We haven't grabbed the defensive walls yet. Technology tree. Let's see. So we don't need the gate, which is right there. But we do want the defensive walls, which is not necessarily to help with defense, more to keep mob or pals from just wandering through. Like that lamb ball or this merchant. Wandering merchant, I think must all have the same because they seem to not sell anything different. And memory serves, yep, we got that guy. So let's do the defensive walls. It still throws me off to anything outside or inside of these. Not actually here, just visually here. Okay, so defensive wall. Oh, come on, climb. Okay, so there's some blue line border. There. Oh, nope, not that far. Climb, damn it. There we go. Trying to keep these within the blue line. So this helps if we look up instead. Try and leave a little bit of space between. So that if one gets destroyed, it's easier to replace it. Oh, sure, now you climb all over the place. Okay, tree, you're in the way. We're not really doing these for defense, per se. We're just doing it to keep wandering mobs from coming in. Specifically because they're aggressive, the dire howls. If we get a raid, we'll kind of see where they flow, but I'm going to guess they're going to either stop down here or try and get around or start attacking the walls, which is fine. There's plenty of health in them. And this, I think, is going to be our last one. We're going to kind of angle it out. Because they won't really try and path around that. There's no way for them to without climbing, jumping, and they don't do that. So, that side's good. That's all I'm worried about at the moment. You're kind of stuck now. You're kind of stuck too. That is everything. So if we come back over here, we were like, okay, he can help us mine. Not any good, not any good, not going to keep. One thing with the floppies I've seen, so while they're in the team with you and you have their special thing, they will pick up uh, nearby items. Since that's a partner skill, if you get them up to level 5 or 4, whatever, 4-star, make them 4-star instead of no star. They'll pick up from a further range. So I've seen it where people will basically, okay, here's all the ore nodes. I'll just make a chest right here or wherever. I'll just stand here, and while everything gets mined, they'll all bring it to me and put it in my inventory. And then occasionally come back to the computer, turn around, drop it off. To me, it's easier so far to just have transport pals running around, but to each their own. It's a possibility. Okay, so we want now 2 planters. Let's see. I am going to drag my Excel sheet over so I can see what's needed and what's not. So Sirius, we were not going to keep. Our Lee's Punk actually goes in our breeding area, which is back here and here. He is Dire Howl Lee's Punk. We're not going to keep him there. Basically reworking our base pals a bit. We got the Dew Mud could mine and water, whereas our Tombat will gather and mine and transport. Our Dew Mud also transport, but our Tombat has level 2 transporting, so he'll transport a bit better. We'll come back to that. So, planters, gatherers. Did we have... Oh, we don't really have water transporters, do we? Let's grab that guy and drop him as a waterer. And I guess we'll keep that Pingullet as a waterer. Transporters, we have the Calamari. Let me mark them on our little spreadsheet so that we know there's something there. They're just working. Transporting too, so that makes them, they're a bit better. They can carry more, basically, is what that means. So we have planters, waters, transporters. We want somebody to cook. We want somebody to cool, which is why we kept the Jolt Hog Christ. It's literally the only thing he's going to do, so hopefully he grabs the cooling before the Pingullet does. But if there's watering jobs, I think the Pingullet will switch off. And that leaves us with 2 spots. We're not breeding yet. So we want one to be a miner. We're going to grab that guy. And we may as well grab actually we're going to grab the lamb ball for the wool, because we're going to need the wool for the fluffy pal beds to make the cloth. And before we dump them in the base, let's make sure the chests are all secure. No empty spaces. Can't help those empty spaces yet. No empty spaces. Okay. Yeah, because we need something like 300 wool. We're only like half there to do 15 of the fluffy beds. If memory serves. I could be off on that math. But let's stand from this side and say, drop a pal. Oh, there's my phone with the 5-minute warning. Time just flew by today. Drop a pal. Drop a pal. Drop a pal. You don't want to drop them all at once, otherwise they can kind of glitch out a bit. That's why I'm going, basically waiting until they move out of the starting area. And I swapped these two around so that I dropped the Crisp first. And you can see there goes the Tombat already mining ore. So the Crist, like I said, Jolthog Crist, best little cooler you can have. Nice and small. It's going to cool everything here. As long as there's something in here, that's his job. He's going to do this. That's why I was hoping we'd have something like a Cellray or something other than our Pengullet, because then the Cellray, like the duck, I'm not going to mispronounce, wouldn't try to cool instead of water. And speaking of, okay, that would explain why we don't have any, because we haven't gone out and caught them. So we might do that next time too here. But now that they're all going, what can we do? Don't have enough of anything to do that. Need ingots and wood. Can't do that yet. Need ingots and stone. Can't do that yet. Need wood and stone. Can't do that yet. So basically, we can't do anything yet. So what we're going to do, since we know we have all kinds of berries. Whoops. That's what we're missing, the cooking pot. Food. Cooking pot. Let's drop that right here. Actually, let's just set it back here out of the way. Gotta be able to cook stuff. And we want it kind of close to the feed box so we can drop stuff off quick. But over they all come to help me build. There we are. I was going to say, let's get berries cooking. That way we have food, and that gives our fox park something to do. And speaking of fox parks, let's put ours back in the team. There we go. Base is running. We basically, for the last little bit here, let's mine up. And basically, we're going to help him mine. That way we can kind of see which order he's going to go in. Looks like, okay, he's fighting this one first. So this will be the first one he always goes after. Okay, so it looks like, oh, wait, what's he doing? Oh, on a short break. So this is going to be the second one he goes after, because this is where he flew until he decided it was time for a break. And my pickaxe is going to break here shortly. Kind of hoping we get a night cycle before we leave here, but I don't think we're going to. It's just about time to go. Magical ore, it's floating. Makes sense. Oh, there broke our weapon. Makes sense though, because that rock right there is floating. Okay, let's go repair our pickaxe. Come back down here. We'll just get rid of that node. Basically, we're not going to build anything else down there unless all the nodes are in place. And the only thing we might build would be assembly lines a bit later here. But by then we'll probably be... Oop, click, not right click. We will probably be elsewhere for a base. Haven't decided yet. We might keep this one around because extra ore is never going to go amiss. So maybe we'll keep this as our ingot base and use the other one as our refined ingot base. We'll see. I haven't decided. We got time. Like I said, chill playthrough. He switched. He was closer to that one after his break, apparently. Let's just finish off this node. Put the stuff away. So I'm thinking next time we'll get the iron and some stone. We'll go catch some celery so maybe we can use those instead of the pingullet and the fuwak. And then we'll get like these things built so that they're, especially this one first, so that he can cook stuff faster and smelt stuff faster. And then let's see, so just to remind us where we're at here. Okay, so we are not very good as far as wanting to breed like an actual worker, artisan, workaholic, lucky, swift. We're not very good as far as wanting to breed a fighter. You know, musclehead, lucky, legend's going to be way off. But swift, we're not that bad for wanting to breed a pal that will be in the team but never be used, other than we don't have the logging foreman. As far as breeding over here, we don't really have a low or a good power, like golf, lower's better. Traitless breeder, so we definitely need to catch pals. Did not even come over to this thing. So basically next time I'm thinking we'll get the effigies from here. We'll get into this 10 to 20 area, start catching some pals there. There's a ton of effigies in here. Do some dungeons, maybe not. Can take time to get all those effigies. But basically the plan is there, then here, then here and here. And then we get here to the good ore base after we've done all of those. Plus, at that point, we're down there. Who knows what level we're going to actually be at by that point. It does slow down the further you go because it just does. And with that, just to make sure everything finishes up properly and you get the ending of the stream, I'm going to switch to just chatting. And then once I actually see it on the stream as having switched after saying my goodbyes, then I'll end the actual stream. So thank you everybody for coming. If you're watching on YouTube, you can follow me over on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, you got the link there to go over to the YouTube to catch the past VODs that may no longer be available. There's nothing else over there at the moment. Maybe in the future, might do shorts, might not. I don't know. I haven't decided. I still haven't decided if we're going to keep doing the streams or not. Still kind of feeling it out to see if I want to keep doing it. That said, thank you everybody for coming, and we will see you on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Bye-bye.